Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this Lexus is200. I know that you guys have been excited and wanted this to come for since I uploaded the trailer for it about a month ago. Well guys, it's finally here, so let's get straight into this review and I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get straight into this. Okay, so this here's how the outside of the car looks. As you can see, the front of the car looks very aggressive. The way the lights are angled looks really nice. Then here's the side of the car. The basic alloys there look really well on the car. Then the back of the car, as you may notice, there's actually sensors there for when you reverse, which is good. Helps you park, and the lights look well on the back of the car as well. And the mirrors as well, as you may notice, are folded inward, as you can actually open them electronically from inside the car. And the key for this car is actually wireless. For a car of this age, that's very good. Let's show you the inside of the car now. That's how the inside looks from the outside view. Now I'm going to go into more detail now on the inside now. Now let's talk about the main features in the car, starting with the dash, of course. Now obviously the dash in this car stands out from most other cars of this age. As you can see, it's that kind of sporty style. It has the Lexus logo right there and it just looks really nice. Has miles per gallon gauge right there, your battery charge right there, and the temperature of the engine right there. Of course your speed dial here and your RPM dial there, and of course your fuel gauge right there. Now let's talk about the steering wheel. The steering wheel, it's full leather steering wheel, feels really nice. Has the Lexus logo there, built-in airbag of course, and the horn sounds like that there. And of course, being Lexus, it is a posh car. So this car when this came out was a luxury car and also a sports car in its own right as well. And also being a sports car, it has a really strong engine that can be modified to go really fast. Basically, it's when the car is at standard, which it is now, it's a good engine, but it isn't too fast. But when you, let's say, change the exhaust, do other modifications, supercharge, turbocharge them, this engine has some really good potential to take part in a lot of races. Drifting is very popular with this car because it's a rear wheel drive car, and traction control can be turned off easily, and it's an easy car to drift. Handbrake right there, clutch pedal down there, and then the steering wheel is really light to use. Let's talk about some other, let's say, luxury features in this car. Firstly, I'm going to point out about the seats here. The seats are leather around the sides and then fabric in here. They are actual real leather in this car, as it is a luxury car. And I think they're very comfortable to sit in. And not only that, they also have heated seats features, which a car of this age, that is very rare. So this is a very new thing at the time and very nice feature to have. Heated seats are activated by pressing that button there, and I'll show you now. I'll just turn the ignition on and show you what happens. Heat seat goes on there, orange light comes on. Same with this side here. And also while we're down this way, as you can see there's a button to turn on and off traction control, and then there's a snow mode to help you give more grip in the snow. Now let's talk about the kind of infotainment system, and as you can see there, when I turned on the dash, I'll show you again. You can have the sat-nav system, which this car has built in, come up when you turn the car on and the ignition on. As you can see there, it comes up like that, it has a Lexus on it, and then there you go, you hit turn it on, and then there's a map, which is absolutely a really nice feature to have, especially if a car at this age, very rare. And at the time, people laughed when this sort of thing was in the car. Like I remember James May from Top Gear laughing at it, saying who would ever need like a TV screen in their car. And now look at, like, about 20 years later, it's in every car, you know. Absolutely, like, Lexus thinking ahead there. You can control the sat nav from down here. You can actually turn it off if you don't want it on while driving, but just there doing that. I personally love having it up because I think it's there, you know. You might as well have it on all the time. I love it on. I think it's nice looking at it, you know. Let's talk about the rest of the infotainment system. Of course, here now, the radio is down here. You turn it on there. Sound system, yeah, good, very good. And yeah, you can have a disc there, which at the time was what was mainly used. And also you can also have a tape in here if you want. I've never used that, to be honest with you, because I don't use tapes. But it is a nice feature. If you do like discs and tapes, you can play both. And of course, you can actually get an auxiliary port put into here, and that can actually connect to the the radio. You do need an adapter though to plug into the cigarette lighter. I have it removed because I don't smoke or anything like that. But yeah, it does work well. 12-volt socket right there. You can use it for any other feature like you would in a modern car, which is good. Hazard lights are, let's say, up here now. I'm going to move on to this section. Hazard lights right here. You have temperature right there, and then the time right there. Then you have the climate control right here. And with these dials, they're kind of like, I'm actually going to describe them the way James May described it in his description when this car first came out, like microwave kind of dials. Clicks like that. I actually like it. I don't mean that as an insult. I actually think it's a nice feature. Kind of feels like you're kind of definitely moving it onto the right temperature that you want, you know. I think it works really well. Now also, another feature of the seats I forgot to mention is that they're electric. I'll show you this now. As you can see here, the seats are electric. You can move them forward, backwards, up, down, which I think is a really nice feature. Also, another feature is electric mirrors. You can actually move the mirrors in and out from their positions in this car. You can also control them electronically as well, which for a car of this age, again, thinking ahead of the time, you know. Like, this car came out, well, this particular car is a 2002 Lexus is200. I think that this car came out in the late 1990s and stopped production in about 2005, 2006. Then the is300 upgrade kind of came out then, with the is220 diesel as well. And then, of course, the is300 hybrid then came out in 2013 and still continues on to this day. Moving down to the gear stick, it's a chrome kind of top there, has 6-speed gearbox, and yeah, it drives really smoothly. And the only issue is when you put it into reverse, I'll show you now, you have to go like that there. And that's fine, that's no problem. And also, just to mention, when you go into reverse, there's sensors on this car, which is another great feature with this car. But what I'm trying to say is about the issue with this here is you have to go all the way like that there to get into reverse. So when you're in first gear, compared to some other cars, it's like you're in third gear, you know. So when you go into second gear and you're ready to go into third gear, you can often get confused which that is. That there is third, but you can often get confused with fifth or sixth, you know, because of how like that there is where first gear is. It's kind of in the middle, you know, so it's kind of, you can get confused sometimes, but ultimately when you get used to driving this car, it doesn't really become much of an issue. Okay, so that's most of the features of the inside of this car. Absolutely brilliant car, as you can tell. Loads of luxury features that you can get in this car that you wouldn't get in some cars today, like, you know, let's say a brand new Toyota Yaris Basic or a Toyota Aygo. They would just have your basic radio down here, and that would be basically it. You wouldn't have any of this, no electric seats, no heated seats, and you wouldn't have a cool dash, and you'd be paying way more for one of them, a brand new Toyota Aygo or a brand new Toyota Yaris, which is the standard one, I mean, than you would for this here, you know. So I think this here is good value for your money. You can get these cars, can range from about €1,000 up as far as about 13,000 depending on which one you get. The Toyota Altezza, which is basically an identical replica of this Lexus is200, will be a lot more expensive than the is200 itself, as Toyota have advertised that to be more sportier, even though this here is identical to that car. Although it does depend on who you're buying it off, the condition of the car, and how fast the car does go. If the car is fully kitted out with a turbocharged engine, or even like a new engine into altogether, you'd be looking at a bit more expensive than this one in particular. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some drive time of the car, and at this very moment in time, recently I've changed the exhaust system on the car back to the standard one, as in Ireland we have to do these NCT tests every year, and the current exhaust system that I had in the car was, yeah, the basic one, but you see there was an extra hole in the back box of the car, and that was getting bigger and bigger, and we kind of just left it there getting bigger because the car started to sound really like even more like sportier than it was. So the last week there we had to change the exhaust system in the car to the standard one, and so it doesn't sound particularly great, I'm going to be honest there. But in a future video, probably maybe a couple of months time, I'm going to be making a video of me changing the exhaust system on this car again, but to like even a Jap speed exhaust system, or the one I had on before, as I personally think you need a good exhaust system on this car, because I think it's a waste having an engine that sounds as good and not having a good exhaust system to enjoy the sound of the engine, you know. So in this video, you're not really going to get great sound out of the engine. You're going to just get the basic sound, but you won't have any of that good exhaust sound out of the car like you would in previous videos that you might have seen this car in. Like I know when I made that montage with back in the summer of all the cars that I was driving during the summer, that this car, when I was on it, it sounded like a WRC car. It won't sound like that in this video. Just giving you a heads up of what this car sounds like, basic standard mode with the back box on the car. So I'll just show you here. This here is how you start it up. See, it does sound, the engine sounds kind of the same, but when it's, listen to that, not great, not gonna lie, not great. But you can't fault this car, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, the exhaust system on this car, from about halfway past the catalytic converter as far up as the end of the exhaust, like where the back box is and all that, it's actually really simple to change. Just 2 bolts, and then the rest of it kind of is just clips that you just pull out, and it comes out really easy. So ultimately, I wouldn't get too hung up on the sound of the car with the standard exhaust system, as you can change the exhaust really easily, which I will be doing in a future video. Because this car can sound absolutely amazing with a good exhaust system on it. Yeah, so let's I'm going to go outside and just show you what it sounds like from the back of the car when just running. That there is how it sounds. Not particularly great, as you can see. It's kind of polished up there, the exhaust, because I just put it on there. As you can see, the size of the back box on it, don't really like it, not gonna lie. And let's go show you some features here. They are the reverse sensors that are all around the back of the car, which is a really good feature there. Just gonna rev the car up and show you what it sounds like. As you can tell, the engine sounds good, but it's the exhaust that kind of lets the sound down, you know. Okay, now I'm going to show the engine itself. Yeah, okay, so here's the engine of the Lexus is200. As you can see here, there's actually plenty of space there if you wanted to fit in anything extra into the engine for modifications or anything like that. But the engine itself now is a 2-litre petrol engine with 6 cylinders. And yeah, instead of most cars, let's say it's 3 or 4 cylinders, this car has 6 cylinders. So it has just as many cylinders as a V6 engine, which in its own way kind of shows you how powerful the engine is. There is a lot of potential for this engine to be even faster, as you know, it already has 6 cylinders in it. You could turbocharge it, supercharge it, and the engine would be like a rocket. And then there's also plenty of space if you wanted to totally replace the engine altogether and let's say put a V8 or something like that in it. Okay, so here's the back of the car. As you can see, electric windows there as well. And here's how much legroom you have. Plenty of legroom. So yeah, you can enjoy a long, comfortable journey here, alright. There's also plenty of headroom in the back of the car. Another nice feature of this car is that it has a sunroof. You have the cover like that. You can, if you want it to be in the shade, but you can open it up like that there. Then look, wait, sorry, thing's on. Then open it up like that there. Does it mostly itself, then it'll just stop there. If you want a little more, there you go, space there, plenty of space. Then if you just want it to be slightly open, I'll show you now. You want to hit tilt and hit up, and then it'll open up a small bit there. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some drive time in this Lexus is200. Gear change is very smooth. Clutch nice and soft. Oh, a bit tight here. Oh, grand though. It's going to be a bit tight here while the trucks. But yeah, gear change very smooth in this car. That's something you can't fault for this car. Good gear change in terms of it's easy to change gear. As I mentioned that little issue before, like look, bam, are you going to fifth or third? You know, it can be a little bit of an issue if you're kind of under pressure and you're kind of panicking. But for me, it doesn't really happen. It happened once or twice when I first drove the car, but like ultimately, it drives fine most of the time. It doesn't drive fine. It drives absolutely brilliantly. Suspension managed as well over hard speed bumps. Steering system, power steering works very well. Very easy to steer. Tight chicane there, that's what it's like. Two vans parked there. Makes it like a chicane, like the scary chicane in Monza. But down to second. Yeah, it's a brilliant car. I'd recommend you buy it if you ever got the opportunity. I'd rate it probably out of 10, 9 or 10, definitely. It's definitely one of the best cars I've ever driven. Definitely up there, one of the best. Also saw another feature, I'll show you now just now quickly. Look at this now, you can actually, look, by hitting info, you can actually check, I actually haven't really set the service light on this at all really, but you can set up the service light through this if you wanted to. Really, I haven't ever done it. You can though, which is a nice feature as well. So yeah, I want to thank you very much for watching this video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Anyone who's really interested in getting a Lexus is200 or a Toyota Altezza even. Or I think this is also made as is300 in America and other parts of the world. Definitely recommend this to your friends if they're thinking about getting it. Showing them this video, I'll definitely say 10 out of 10 or even 9 or 10 out of 10. It deserves a 10. You know, like basic, the engine can go up as far as 8,000 RPM at most. It could break the engine. Still, I wouldn't risk it. That's redlining it. But still, the potential this engine has is brilliant, and you still have the luxury features. The seats, steering wheel turns really well. The factor if you want to drift it, traction control, snow mode, heated seats, infotainment system is phenomenal for its age, sat nav as well, and don't forget the reverse sensors as well. Electronic everything really. Electronic mirrors, electronic windows. That one's auto. The rest of them are all kind of manual in terms of electrically manual. But yeah, definitely I recommend it to anyone. Really brilliant car. Nothing really bad to say about the car apart from the standard sound out of it. It could have been better, but really it's that simple to change it yourself. I don't really see the issue, you know. So yeah, thanks very much for watching this video, guys. Please like the video if you liked it, and please subscribe to the channel. I just want to thank you guys. I've just recently achieved 200 subscribers, and I really appreciate the support, guys. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. My videos are getting more than 10 likes on average now. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. You know, like I'm really happy with the way the channel's going at the moment. Loads of people watching the videos. I know it's the Audi TT video where I replaced the stereo, and it was very popular. That hit over 1,000 views there, 1.1k views I think it is now. When I made that at the time, there's no way I would have thought that it would have been that popular. So I kind of wish now I put a little bit more effort in it at the time, but the editing skills I have now are much better than I had back then. And as of the previous video with the Audi TT, clean it, I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully that helped you guys clean up your cars. Hope it did. But yeah, back to this here, definitely I'd recommend you buy it. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.